Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Jojo Gonzalez here, and it's like the morning before the storm. We got the storm in the Gulf, and it's kind of fitting because we're going over Psalm 60. It's the lament over defeat in battle and a prayer for help from David. And I've gone through a lot of storms. I'm sure you've gone through a lot of storms. How do you prepare to go through those storms, and then how do you deal with the defeat? With like kind of coming out on the losing end necessarily. God, He's teaching us, He's humbling us, He's molding us and shaping us into who He wants us to be. How does that fit into His plan or His will? His what He's trying to teach or make out of us, right? David, I'm sure he's kind of feeling the same way. Lament over defeat in battle. He's used to winning, used to, kind of having kind of God on his side. But this one was a tough one for him. Doesn't mean that God's not on his side. Doesn't mean that God's not on your side. David, and the people were in sin. It was just one of those things that, they kind of got off, doing their own thing, and they returned to the Lord after this battle. And this is what it says. It says, "Oh God, you have rejected us and cast us off. You have broken down our defenses and scattered us. You have been angry. Oh, restore us and turn to us again." So they got away. They see their ways now. They're like, man, God's been angry with us, and we know why, right? We know what our sin is. And then they ask for restoration. And that's what God's working in this world, and working, through Jesus Christ and all these different things that happen, is for restoration, for you, for your neighbor, for your friend, restoring everyone back to Him. So your story, your struggle, your whatever you're going through, it's not just for you, it's for the people that are around you as well. Share how God has brought you through those things. That way they can start looking and turning to God as well. They keep going. They said, "You have made the land quake. You have split it open. Heal its rifts, for it shakes and totters." So they see the damage. Now they're asking for healing. But I ask you to do that in your own emotional life, your own spiritual life, your own physical life, whatever that may be. Maybe you're addicted, maybe maybe hurt yourself emotionally, or someone else has hurt you emotionally, physically, whatever it is. Ask for God for that restoration again, and to make it whole. He says, "You have made your people experience hardships. You have given us wine to drink that makes us stagger and fall," right? All these things that just distract us. And he says, "You set up a banner for those who fear you, a banner that may be displayed because of the truth." That banner, kind of protects us and says, hey, we're with the Lord. That your beloved ones may be rescued. Save with your right hand and answer us. God has spoken in His holiness and in His promise, right? God is holy and His word is faithful and true. He said these things would happen. He said they would, and now they're happening. His word is faithful and true. God is holy, God is just, God is right, and His word is faithful and true. And it says this, "I will rejoice, I will divide the land of Shechem and measure it out, in the valley of Succoth, west of the east. Gilead is mine, Manasseh is mine, Ephraim is my helmet, Judah is my scepter, Moab is my washbowl." He says, "Over Edom I shall throw my shoe in triumph. Over Philistia I praise the shout of victory. Who will bring me in to besiege the city of Petra? Who will lead me to Edom? Have you not rejected us, O God? And will you not go out with our armies? Give us help against the enemy." So he reminds himself of God's promises, and now he's looking for those things. Okay, God promised these things in His word. Now, who's going to do this and who's going to do this? How are those things? That expectation now is there. They're expecting God to work. They're expecting God to move. Before, they were just doing their own thing. Now they're in struggle. Now they're like, okay, let's depend on God's promises. How are these things going to come about? Building up that faith, man. As hard as we go through these storms and these struggles in our life, man, God is constantly building up our faith and strengthening us through these tough times, through these adverse times. And I just want to encourage you with that, man. God is not through with you yet. He's going to continue to work on you. Let's finish up the verse. He says, "Give us help against the enemy, for the help of man is worthless." We can go to each other for help for small things, man, but ultimately God is the one that helps us. God's the one that's going to give us what we truly need. It says, "Though through God we will have victory, for He will trample down our enemies." And all these storms that go, that come and go, man, in the end, they're not even going to matter. God's victory is already there. The victory's already been won. So just live through this time. I know it might be tough, but in the end, God is going to continue just to work in you and grow in you. So think about these things you go about your day. God bless.